Hi, so in science we like to quantify things, and one of these things is fluids. Fluids, as you may know, is kind of like a liquid, or it's another word for a liquid like water. And water, it flows, and so if you put it in a pipe or it's moving somehow, it's flowing. And this is a phenomenon that we want to be able to quantify or to talk about with math. And to do that, we need to be able to measure things. So to do this, we have three different methods of visualizing flow visualization methods. The first method is the path line. And the path line, so let's take, here's a tube, these are the walls of the tube, and let's say the water is flowing this way, the fluid flows this way. If we drop one particle here, over time, where is the particle going to go? The particle will flow this way, and so it may be 1 second, the particle will be there, and then here, and then here. And it changes position over time based on the flow, and that is a path line. And so a path line, you start a particle with one place, and it moves slowly, and you take a little picture of it over different time segments, and then you can get a flow line, a path line, like that. Method 2 is a streak line. A streak line, here's our tube, is when you take a little dye injector, this is our injector, and it leaks dye into the flowing water, right? And so, as you can imagine, when you put dye into flowing water, the dye is gonna start coming out here, but as the water flows, it'll slowly look like this. And so if you take a picture at the beginning, it'll just look like that, where it's just at the injector. If you take it 5 seconds later, the dye will be here because it's still coming out of the injector, but it'll also be down here since it's flowed that way with the flow. Finally, we have the streamline. The streamline is best used with a mathematical application because these two have some flaws that I'll get into in the abstract. But basically, you take a snapshot of every point in the flow at one time, and then you take another snapshot one time later. So let's say the X's are where everything has gone after a second. And taking those two pictures, you can draw arrows that represent the speed of the flow, or the velocity of the flow. And these are called velocity vectors. And altogether, this makes a vector field describing the flow. Thank you.